right, guys, we are back. This is the Dream is Free podcast, episode 14. I'm your host, Jake Healy. Our other host and super producer is Mike Theophil.
We're back.
Took a little.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, took a little vacation. We had a week off.
Jake went away. He tell the folks where you went.
I was in St. Thomas doing some scuba diving.
Yeah,
it was a good
helping
good
a buddy write a book.
But I couldn't wait to get back to
the stew.
To the studio, yeah.
Very
excited. Very excited. I was like fiending for it the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time I was there, I was thinking like, man, who can we get on here? What can we talk about?
And now we have a guest today.
Yes, we are back with our guest, Ashira Jordan. She is an author, and she's written 2 books. Her first book is Random Thoughts That Will Get You Through Life, and her second book is Deep Into Thoughts. You could find her books on your Facebook page, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any other platforms we can find them on?
Yes, also my website, ashirajordan.com.
Okay,
nice.
Perfect. Yeah, so if you want to look, she's going to talk about what these books are about, what her journey was to get to writing these books. I'm always fascinated by people that are able to sit down and organize like your thoughts into an actual book and like put yourself like that out into the world. I think it's like a difficult and beautiful thing to do.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on today. We were really looking forward to having you on. I did some reading on the background of your first book. I didn't even know that you wrote a second book, so I'm just finding that out today. But I was reading like the epilogue of the first book, so I saw just like the summary of what it's about,
Yes.
But yeah, why don't you tell us about your background and like what led you to writing the book?
Right.
Thank you guys. First and foremost, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure being here. My first book, Random Thoughts That Will Get You Through Life. I'm just growing up. I am from Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm one of 7. I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut, born and raised. And just growing up, it was just like, things around us that I didn't see that I wanted more in life. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be an inspiration to my little brother and sisters, to people that was around me. We didn't have a role model growing up. It was just like, this is what it is. Everybody in life was going off of what we seen, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to stand out. I wanted to help those around me, and it was like, I didn't see a lot of self-love, self-motivation, self-encouragement. It's like people was just like giving up or just going with the flow. I wanted to be the flow. I wanted to make my own, create my own lane, create my own wave. And that's how it came about. I'm one of 7. So it's like I have little brother and sisters that look up to me growing up. Like, my mother was a single mother, and our fathers was in and out of our life, came in when they pleased. But it was like my mother had to hold it down. And to see my mother as a single mother of 7 children, that really that wanted me to do better. That wanted me to help give my little brother and sister something that we never have growing up. And that was to look back and down the line right now, I am definitely building a foundation. Like no matter what, I'm inspiring, I'm building a foundation. And I just truly thank God that I never looked like what I was going through.
Yeah. What's the age range between like all your siblings, like the oldest to the youngest?
My older sister is 33. My oldest is 33, and the youngest is 21.
Okay.
Wow. Last 2 are twins.
Yeah. So, 7 kids for
Yeah.
one mom to raise. That's a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where in Bridgeport did you grow up?
I grew up on the East End.
Okay. Yeah. So around
Nice,
around
right
here,
around the corner.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Nice. So what specifically is your first book, The Random Thoughts That Will Get You Through Life? Like when did you start kind of jotting these things down and thinking like, okay, like, this is a thought that I'm having that I could definitely put into a book like this?
At one point in time, I was going through a lot with my family, especially with my mother. I'm dealing with her drug addiction and everything. And it was like, I was getting real upset with everything that was going on around. So it was like, at the point in time, I'm like, I just got in my phone, started writing. Everybody around me think I'm texting, or I'm just, why you always in your phone? You always in your phone. And I was creating a book. My book is a devotional book, a day-by-day book. So I was creating a book all along, no matter where I was going, no matter where I was headed. Each and every day I was getting up, jotting my thoughts down.
Yeah. So you just started writing thoughts down, and then at what point were you like, okay, like I'm gonna structure this into my first book?
One of my cousins had hit me up, and he was going through it, and he was like, I was like, just promoting positivity in his life and helping him deal with his situation, and he was like, cuz, you should let everybody hear the way you talk and the way you can help people and uplift their soul. And I was like, you know what, definitely, because it doesn't take a gender to help somebody change their lives or get you to start thinking differently. So I would say like after a year after I started writing, it was just, I started looking into publishing companies.
Got it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always so like it's been kind of a common theme with people that we've had on the podcast is like they either where they're from, what they grew up around, things that they've been through.
Yes.
Like to kind of come out the other side of that
Yes.
and still keep like that positive mind state,
Mm-hmm.
and then to take it even a step further and say like, okay, I made it through this. I want to help other people to get through this.
Yes.
Harry Bell's a good example.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
I talk about him on every podcast.
Yeah, he's the best.
I talk about all of our guests on every podcast, but Harry Bell, for this specific example, like he takes kids from the terrace, like from the projects, and then
Yes.
brings them to like sailing
And
lessons,
fencing, and
you know, like
Yes.
just random things that you wouldn't normally think a kid from the project is gonna go do.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason he does that is because, like you were saying, he wants them to see there's more out there.
Absolutely.
It's not just the street that you're from or your parents and I mean that goes for everybody, no matter where you are. Like you're not bound to where you're from.
Yes.
But no, it's just like a beautiful thing to see somebody go through it. And I'm always asking people what makes you like different? Like what is it for you that drove you to keep that positive mindset? Because there's so many people that don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they
There's
come
people
out,
that fall.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out mean and angry and just like upset with life and bitter, you know, and resentful towards a lot of things. So Jake's right. Like it's a beautiful thing when people can, you know, come out on that high note, on that positive note. And how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like what is it?
What made you and didn't break you? You know what I mean? Because that's what it kind of is. It's like this is
Yes.
either gonna make you or break you.
Me. I would honestly say first and foremost, like all glory to God, my prayers. When I truly, truly believe in God like never before, like staying heavy on my faith and who I am, and I'm believing my prayers. It was just nothing but God. Just in the midst of all, just to see that things that I was going through was supposed to break me and it didn't. When I'm telling you, the power of prayer is really, really powerful, and it really, really it works. I mean, at the end of the day, we all go through things, but I mean, I put so much positivity in the atmosphere. I create my own energy around me. I create the energy that I want. So I'm gonna get up every day, and today's gonna be a beautiful day. Today's gonna be a prosperous day. I speak what I want. I speak where I'm moving in life, and I thank God for it all. Because no matter what, I'm not giving up, and I thank God He allowed me to never give up, no matter what I seen, no matter what me and my family been through. I thank God that I changed the negative situation into a positive outcome.
Gotcha. And just for background purposes, like what was it like when you say like things that you've seen, stuff like that, like what was it like growing up on the east end, east side of Bridgeport, like the things that you went through that kind of drove you to like getting to where you are?
I would say like, even as of right now, like we see people getting shot, our close ones getting shot, like, homeboys that we're hanging out with is going to jail. Even some girls that I went to school with turned out to be strippers. So it's like stuff like that. Like I said, my mother growing up, like, dealing with her drug addiction. I mean, the other people in my family on drugs. And it was like, that's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted to be like. I wanted me and my brother and sisters to know that there is better. And whatever is in front of us, like we are definitely going to overcome it. As growing up, like, I lived in shelters, and I thank God, like I said, my mother was a single mom, so she did all that she can do. But when it got hard, it got hard. But I thank God that I never saw her give up, so I never gave up as well.
How's she doing now?
She's doing great. She's definitely doing great, and I truly thank God for that. Like, she's definitely in a transition where she's getting her life back 100% on track. Like, because you definitely gotta. It steps.
Takes time.
Yes.
To rewire.
Yeah, absolutely. It's steps in life, like, and I thank God that she is, like, finding her way back. She's definitely seeing, like, her children is growing up to be amazing. She raised some beautiful young men and young women, and I'm like, she definitely knows at the end of the day, like, Mom, you gotta be here. Like, there's things in life that's already changed. Like, I thank God I'm not holding no grudge against her. I'm not holding no grudge against my father, because I overcame each and everything that I overcame each and everything that brought me down already. I'm not gonna use what they didn't do or what they did to my life, or I can't make it because what my parents didn't do. Absolutely not. I'm going to go even harder, because at the end of the day, when I have my child, because as of right now I have no kids, but when I have children, they're never going to feel any type of way that I ever have felt towards my mother, or they're never going to see anything that I felt towards my father or anything. And I'm just thank God that I'm learning off of everything everybody done, and I just keep it pushing.
Yeah, and to be forgiven, you have to forgive, right?
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Were you raised like in a religious upbringing, or was that something like you got into later in life?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Were you raised like with a religious background?
Oh, Yes, absolutely. Like my mom, like we always been into church. She taught us how to pray. We knew prayer every night. Like as a family, we always prayed and locked up. So my mother definitely instilled prayer into us. Like a Christianity, and even as growing up, like I just know, like I wouldn't put no title on it. I just know that God is real, and I definitely pray. I prayed it like never before. Like the relationship I have with God, I didn't build it off of going to church every Sunday. I built it off of lifelong struggles, like
Right.
life situations.
Like real spiritual moments, not
Yes.
like I don't need to go to a place for someone to tell me I could just have divine moment with the divine in this moment if I choose to seek, that power.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's awesome. It's beautiful.
And do you think like going through everything that you went through like strengthened your relationship with God? Was it like something that you had to put all of your faith and trust into?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even like, even growing up, even getting into my author career, like so I had 2 apartments that burnt down like year after year. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
From what? Just
One time my house burned down, I was getting attacked too. And I guess the guy left all the chemicals inside my trash can, and he didn't take it outside. So I guess the chemical functions definitely came together. So
my gosh.
my house burned down then, so I had to relocate. And then a couple of years later, honestly, last year I was at work and it was electricity, and I was at work and my house burned down, and I was even in the midst of coming right in my second book. So it's like, I mean, of course I got upset.
Wow.
I got upset for that moment, but just stood on faith, and I do thank God that happened on a Friday, and on a Monday I was in a new apartment. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, it's a good way. It's a good way to look at it. That's a lot, losing losing
Yeah.
your home like that.
I mean, in everything. Like, I had to start over from scratch, but I definitely didn't lose faith. It definitely made me stronger.
Right?
It made me stronger. My strength in God, my prayers in God, and I truly thank Him, because without God, I don't know where I'll be.
I have a question. When like stuff like that happens for you, do you like, since you're a Christian, right? Do you feel like it's kind of like the enemy or whatever, like because you're getting close and they're scared of you getting closer to your, goal with God? You know what I mean? Do you take it like that? Is that how you usually like see it, or like because you said it happened on your second book, right?
Yes.
So like my mindset would be like, oh hell, the devil's a liar. You know what I mean? Like you're no way.
Absolutely.
I'm finishing this book tonight now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you think, forget my house. I don't care.
No, absolutely. You do tend to notice that when you go stronger in your prayers, you go stronger in everything about God and serving God. Yes, the more like the higher levels, the newer devils. But at the end of the day, it's like I don't even give that joker no glory in anything. I just continue to thank God that whatever the enemy meant for bad, He turned into good. Because we definitely do know that. I mean, it's even the house. I mean, you'll notice your family's coming at you more, your friends coming at you more, relationships are being torn apart, and like you just have to be by yourself, and that gets me in the prayer zone. Like I'm just here, like. It's been times I was home, just working home for months straight, just working home and just praying, because I knew what I had to protect I knew what I was coming up against, like no matter what. And like you had mentioned, at the end of the day, no, I'm finishing everything. I'm going harder, because no matter what, it's like if that's all you got to come harder, because I'm gonna go harder.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot more to take you down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a good,
awesome.
good saying. It's if you know your why, you can get through anyhow. So if you know what your purpose is, like there's no variables that are going to stop you to get through to anything. No, it's amazing. What kind you work in community health? Is that what you went to school for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember reading that. So how'd you decide on those? You went to college for that?
I went to Housatonic.
Shout out Hoosie.
Yes,
We did too.
We went to Housatonic too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I mean, it's just in a genre intertwined with everything, because I also went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting as well.
Oh, nice.
And, yes, and then with the community, even when we talking, I'm a motivational speaker, so I'm like that can help me get in the communities more. Me becoming a community health worker, I'm out here, like I can be an activist and I can be talking for my community. So like I definitely just want to be out there more and more.
Yeah. What so that drove you down that path was like you just want to be connected more to the community, so you figured community health. And are you working in that field too?
As of right now, I'm not.
Okay.
As of right now, I'm a supervisor for the Amazon cleaning crew.
Okay, cool.
But overall, like that's definitely what I do want to do. That's just intertwined with everything that I want to do, because I do eventually want to let my job go and become a full-time author. I want to travel the world. I want to do seminars, and I want to help people. So.
Nice. I think you do it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, your energy is like boom.
Yeah, you bring the energy.
Yeah,
for sure.
like you definitely need to be on stage, like being like, you got to know that God is gonna get you through it.
And
You know?
it's natural too. It's not
Yeah.
like just
Oh
forced.
no, not at all. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Like when I get really energetic, it looks forced because I'm so calm all the time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, like this is truly me. I mean, no matter what interview or radio station I'm on, like this is truly me.
Yeah. Can you tell it? So the random thoughts that will get you through life.
Yes.
Anything off the top of your head from that book, like just
A
as
random
like
thought?
an example that is in the book?
Just like you gotta be day number one. Like I was letting my readers know, like you gotta be optimistic. You gotta jump out the box. You gotta think out the box. Like and allow nothing. I mean nothing and no one to get in your way. You have to know that you are your number one fan, and you gotta know where you're going in life.
Yeah. What was going back to what you were saying before about kind of getting out of the box and not just what's in front of you and what you grew up in? Like,
Yes.
what was it for you that you knew there was more to life than what you grew up in?
Honestly, like just like when I travel, when I see other things and how I connect with other people and how I view them when I'm out and I'm viewing that what I'm seeing, I'm like, yo, I deserve to be here. I deserve more.
So just kind of just traveling outside of that,
Yes.
just getting outside of it.
Yeah.
Where have you traveled to? Like,
I traveled to Puerto Rico.
Nice.
I went to traveled to Puerto Rico. I went to Vegas. I went to Washington. As of right now, that's it.
just those spots. It was like,
Yes.
all right, like there's more.
Especially Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I mean, just being able to travel and be out there and seeing the different things, I'm like, definitely.
Different way of life.
Yes.
This is for me. I need to go get out to these other cultures and see
Yeah.
them.
We're
right?
going to Cuba, actually.
Yeah.
We're
Wow.
going to Cuba.
Downtime crew.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 days with
Full court piece.
Full Court Peace. This Mike Evans, we had him on our podcast. He gets kids from like around areas like Bridgeport. Like, so he'll get a group of kids from like Fairfield, Westport, Weston, a group of kids from Bridgeport, and then he'll find a basketball court in Bridgeport that needs to be refurbished,
Or Stanford,
painted.
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Any inner city, really.
Any inner city. So he'll just like, he's trying to bring kids from different communities together for the same purpose, to kind of like be like, okay, there's more than what I grew up in, what they grew up
Yes.
in, you know? And then the common theme is playing basketball. Like
Yeah, it's
everybody,
awesome.
You know, so it's kids that like to play basketball, obviously, or most of the time.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It was actually funny when we went last weekend and we helped, clean up. Brian and Jake actually cleared out the whole side of the court, you know what I mean? But
We're cutting trees down.
cutting
like,
trees,
Wow.
yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
And
Go
one of
ahead.
the kids, I'm like, oh, so you love basketball? He's like, no, I actually hate it. I'm like, he's clearly just here for, to get his like
For the
community,
community service,
the
yeah.
community service like checker
school or
box.
whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
No,
So I just thought that was funny. Like the one kid I asked, like
He hates
in the
it.
beginning.
There was some motivating
yeah.
kids there. There was some kids like Francesco.
Yeah,
This kid was
Francesco.
working hard. Like he worked harder than anybody else there. He was going.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I told him, I was like, you're going places.
No, I actually love basketball too. Like that's my favorite sport. Like growing up in elementary school as well as high school, I played basketball. I love basketball.
Yeah, me too. I love it. That's my jersey up there, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Love basketball, love hoops. This is kind of like that's why it's like so special with this full court piece for me personally, because it's like this is my new basketball team. These guys over here on Downtime, and the thing we're building here, and of course our first major project, because there's we're doing some work with him in 2021 too. TBD, we're not gonna tell anybody yet, but it's cool.
Awesome.
It's just cool. It's basketball, bring it full circle for me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so I was just in St. Thomas last week, which is one of the U.S. Virgin Islands, but it's so different than mainland United
Living.
States,
Yes.
And I've been to a bunch of islands in Europe and stuff like that, but
Wow.
the seeing like you're so right, like going to an island and seeing how they live life there
Yes.
and how different it is than Connecticut. You know what I mean? Like where it's just gray skies and
Sometimes sunny.
you're walking down the street and you say hi to somebody and they don't even look at you.
at you.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's just I try to say hi to everybody, but you always get like that cold shoulder, just
Yep.
like especially during COVID times, people are like, blocking their face and stuff.
Yeah.
But to go to like an island and be like, wow, like these people live such a relaxed
Yes.
life, and they have less for sure of like the material stuff, but it's just like I'm at the beach everybody's getting out of work and they go to the beach. They bring their kids to the beach. They're in the water. They're playing. You know?
Like they're still happy no matter what.
Yeah. And St. Thomas is an old school island. Like they didn't even have running water until like, you know, the 1960s or 70s. Like, so like, you know, people who are from that island, like whoever they were raised by was still at some point like going to a well and bringing water back to their house. They're like an old school kind of people, you know?
Still, yeah.
And they're,
You got me want to visit.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
No.
It's super
Definitely.
cheap to go right now too.
Yeah,
because
I mean, everything is.
the island's like there's no cruise ships going there, so it's pretty much closed down, so it's really cheap to go.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful experience. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to like, that's another thing with traveling. It's like, I feel like if you're not traveling, if you're not seeing the world, you know what I mean? Like you're not really getting to see the world and the people and really just feel the energy that this planet really has to offer. And you know, it's a beautiful world. It really is. Like,
Yeah. When you're stuck here, it's
Like you're stuck, like you're
in this little bubble.
Yes.
And you have no idea like what's out there.
there's
It's just-
color and beautiful things out there. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
you just got to go.
Different people.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like even just in Europe, you're saying Europe, right? Like you go from one European country, it's like states, one state to the next, but it's like
So different.
you're in a different world. And it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of history. You know what I mean? It's just, it's something you really can't find in the United States because we're such a young country still.
Yeah.
You know? And we've destroyed the old history of this land, like honestly, with the Native Americans, so we can't even go celebrate their architecture and whatnot. But that's the thing I love the most when I go travel to other cultures is like
How they
their
preserve
history.
everything.
Yeah, the preserving of buildings, and dude, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm thinking about it now. You know what I mean? Just certain places I've been.
Yeah. I can't wait to go to Cuba.
Oh, me too. Obviously never been. Castro wouldn't allow us.
definitely, guys. Have fun for me. Have fun for
We
me.
will.
Yeah, we got to pair up with Harry and even, you know, Mike and stuff, and we're trying to pair up our.
Yeah, we want to do a round table thing with like
Oh, okay.
a
That'd be
bunch of
awesome.
people from the podcast at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Get all of your crazy creative minds.
Yeah, and all their minds are all wanting to help, and I feel like they're all lined up with the same
Goal.
vision. Yeah,
Yeah.
like seriously, in a different way.
Yes.
You know, like he's doing it with food, Mike's doing it with courts, you're doing it with your book. You know, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. What is Deep Into Thoughts?
So deep into thoughts, like that's my book. I mean, right now I'm so on it. I love it so much, guys. Make sure you grab your copy of Deep Into Thoughts.
Definitely, it's gonna go up there.
Yes, please, definitely. So Deep Into Thoughts, like both my books are they're a lot of the same because with Random Thoughts That Would Get You Through Life, I wasn't yet quite finished. My publishing company, we wanted to just get it out there because they were like, oh, this is amazing. People need to hear this. So Deep Into Thoughts, but I will say it's a lot more effective. I'm opening up more who I am. I'm connecting more with my readers, allowing them to get to know me more. And I mean, the way I grew as an author in the last 2 years is amazing.
Yeah.
So Deep Into Thoughts, I will say, like, it's showing me, like, I done traveled the world. I done went on book tours. I done went to multiple radio stations, talked to other authors, did more research upon things. Random Thoughts, I will say, it's like when you're first getting signed. You're just happy you're getting signed, so you just jump on it, just throw it out there. Like, but Deep Into Thoughts, I was able to do my research. I was able to sit back. I'm even with a new publishing company, so that's how thorough I begin to be on everything, more effective, even with everything that I'm doing in life. So I truly thank God for that. But Deep Into Thoughts is one of the greatest, most motivational books that anyone would ever come across right now.
Got it. So, Random Thoughts That Would Get You Through Life was kind of the beginning. You were grazing the surface of everything, like just trying to put your thoughts down, get it out there, share it to the world. Deep Into Thoughts, are you expanding, more on the stuff from Random Thoughts, or is it new stuff, everything?
It's everything, but I will say a lot more new stuff because I was going through different things in my life with Deep Into Thoughts than I was going to with Random Thoughts. So yes, Random Thoughts, like, you know, Random Thoughts, it was just everything random. And that was 2 years ago when I released that book. So just think about your growth in 2 years. Like, what can you accomplish, and where you know that you were heading, I would think back like 2 years ago where I was at. I'm nowhere even near the same this year, like 2 years ago. I'm not even driving the same car, living in the same house. So it's like
2 houses.
So it's like at the end of the day, like, yes, like I am more effective with everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's can you throw something at us from Deep Into Thoughts? Like
Yeah.
what's
That you're sharing the viewers. Jake wants. I know what Jake wants. He wants the good stuff.
yeah.
What then deep into thoughts I am I'm elaborating. I'm getting more into how my house burned down and how I was just my house burned down. I was sleeping on my sister's couch, but that didn't stop me from keep pushing. That didn't stop me from writing. That didn't stop me from praying. Because I thank God that my house, like I've mentioned, my house burned down on a Friday and I was in my new apartment on Monday. I truly do thank God for family, but it was like I can't stay on this couch and just mope and cry. I'm going to get up, go get myself together, go shopping, and get prepared for my new house. So stuff like that is like opening up more, not allowing every little situation to come at you to bring you down. Because if you allow every situation to come at you, bring you down, then how can you say you're a strong individual? How can you elaborate on your growth and saying you're growing if every little thing in life that comes, you're boggled down or you're bothered by it? No, this is what things are here for. Things are going to come at us. But we got to use everything in life that we're going through, every trial and tribulation, as a stepping stone in life.
I agree.
I agree.
It's the two
Amen.
types of people in this world. It's
Yes.
the why me or the why not me. Like,
Yeah.
people could sit around and pity themselves anytime something bad happens, or figure out how is this going to make me stronger? How do I turn this negative into a positive?
Into a positive.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's impressive how quickly you can do it. You know, like Friday to Monday. Like,
Yeah,
I know it's God, but it's like you also being
Absolutely.
like, I'm not gonna be a little baby.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna go you said shopping. I love that.
Yes.
Like you probably got yourself, and you know what I mean, and then go. All right, I'm good now. I feel good. I'm gonna go be good.
Yes.
Right. I just got a little haircut. I know it doesn't look like it. So I have that feeling right
feel
now.
good right now?
Yeah.
You
Got my
the
neck
sides cleaned up?
Yeah. Oh my God. When she like did the thing, like where she actually showed the sideburns, I was like, oh God. Like geez.
That COVID cut. Yeah.
Oh my
Like
God.
a
My
snap-
neck. Oh, thank
snap
God.
of the finger.
Shout out Donnie D. Been with her since I was 11. She's awesome.
Like it was like even like the ladies I was working at, they were like, yo, I can't believe you're still smiling, you're still standing. Like I really like salute you. I was just like, thank you. They're like, no, honestly, like I'm going off of your energy. Like you can't like, you would never tell what I'm going through. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, I speak more positivity in the atmosphere. Like I said, like, you know, I create my own energy.
Yeah.
We definitely do all go through it. We all go through it. We all be down. But honestly, if I give myself one day, you're not sitting there moping all week. You're not doing it. So I give myself one day and it's like, okay, I'm over it.
Yeah. That was pretty good for a house burning down too.
I know.
You get one day to be upset about this.
No, absolutely. It's like,
Craigslist tomorrow. Find yeah.
like things definitely do happen. And I think God, it took a lot for me to train myself to be the way I am. Like I said, the power of prayer and yes, who I am and the strength and ability that I have as well. But it took a lot for me to train myself to be this way. But I thank God for it that I am.
Yeah. What do you have coming next? Like,
Yeah.
what's your? I know you want to
I'm curious.
travel
Yeah.
the world and motivational speaker.
Do you have any other books in the works?
Have you done any motivational speak? Yeah. Let's start with one quick.
Yeah, sorry,
Any other
Jakey.
books in the work?
Do I have any books on the way?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not stopping.
Always
Like,
right.
nice.
I'm not. I honestly, I'm up.
So you have one right now you're working on.
I have us finished.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm finished my third book. I'm on my fourth book as well, right? I'm on my fourth book right now. I'm definitely not stopping at all.
What's
Nice.
do you have a name for the third book yet or no?
Yes, the third book is called Real Life Prayers.
Real life prayers.
Love it. I love that.
So it's just a
It's
prayer
all-
book,
yes.
like a daily prayer
Yes,
thing.
it's all a prayer on my real life prayers, and everything
Wow.
everything in my books, like random thoughts that will get you through life. They're all my random thoughts that got me through life. Deep into thoughts are all my deep thoughts and everything. So real life prayers are my real life prayers.
Okay. And what's the fourth book going to be about?
The fourth book is called the epidemic of 2020.
Okay, so you're writing about
Yes, I'm writing about the whole of everything that's going on in 2020.
Wow.
how you got through it, stuff
How
like
I
that.
got through it, what's going on, like, you know, with the COVID and I mean, just with everything, jobs getting shut down. I mean, families not being able to see each other. People were like, you know, families losing families. I mean, just everything in life and how I'm still coping with things, with how I'm seeing people cope with things out here these days. So
What happened? Like, how did your life change during COVID?
I would say in a tremendous way, my life changed. Like I got my business LLC. I got another book coming.
Yeah, she's one of us, Jake.
Yeah.
You know what the deal is.
Like,
you know we don't
I
bring
guess-
any
no.
jamokes in here.
No, like, you know, every God, like what's happening in my life in 20, and through all this. It's supposed to happen. Like I said, my condolences, and I am sorry for anybody who did lose somebody. But I do thank God that in the midst of all that, I see a lot more people are coming out of their shells, opening business. Entrepreneurs is really doing what they have to do. Like I said, even as far as myself, I'm LLC now, and I'm more so in my business and doing what I got to do. Got interviews lined up as they can be, just being safe and protected through it all. I thank God that my family is healthy and doing what they're supposed to be doing, and people they're getting more jobs and they're even branching off, opening their businesses. So everything's going great for me.
we were like,
we were saying on here like COVID showed you again 2 types of people. It was like it hit, and it's like, all right, this is my excuse to sit on the couch and watch Netflix 12 hours a day. And use this as an excuse to not do anything, or it's like, all right, COVID hit. How can I use all this free time? To build something.
Absolutely.
It was like a pause. The way I looked at it, it was like the world has paused for a sec.
Yes.
The whole world. Have you ever experienced that? I don't think so. No.
Like for me, I'm in the mortgage industry. Like that's my day job.
Yeah.
And it was the busiest time ever for us.
I heard houses was going like
houses, refinances. It was literally the busiest year in the mortgage industry ever. So for me, it was kind of like everybody else wasn't doing anything. And I was sitting there working 10, 12 hours a day just to try to keep up with my book of business. And then like we were starting the podcast thing.
Wow, okay.
And I like to be busy. So like if I was stuck in a situation where I don't think I'd ever be stuck in that situation where I just don't do anything because I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like I'd literally go crazy if I was just sitting there not doing anything.
Right.
You know? I walked my dog 6 times a day, like, just if I had nothing to do,
She misses those days.
Yeah. She got a good walk in this morning.
Good. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Puppy.
Oh, you got a big one.
Yeah.
She's a little shepherd. Well, yeah. She's a big dog. She weighs like 70-something pounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she got a lot of attention during coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's like we saw like the 2 types of people that there are. It's like
absolutely.
I'm gonna use this to not go to work. Obviously it's tough for people to still go. Even with the choice to go back to work, to go back because of the amount of like money they were getting for not doing anything. It was almost like,
absolutely.
Why would you not do that? But yeah, so. I already knew, like, when I asked you the question, you were going to be like, no, let's do it.
Yeah, I know.
I was on it. Yeah.
No, I know, honestly, because even, like, I've been through that. Like, I felt that at a time and place where it was, like, my job had to end up letting me go, like, where I was working at before, had to let me go due to the COVID and the hours dropping. So I was one of the ones that was on unemployment and getting about $600 or $700 a week for not doing nothing. But then when that came to an end, I was like, oh, no, I'm... Like, so I got another job ASAP. Now I'm like I said, I'm a supervisor. I'm doing what I got to do. But, I end up finishing 2 books during COVID and started another one. And, just travel, just doing what I got to do. I thank God, today I wouldn't, even today today I'm also busy. But like you were just saying, I'm busy. If I'm not working, it's just strictly about my book. Like, not only do I have a full-time job, but I am, in reality, I'm a full-time author as well. Like, I'm out here, I'm passing out flyers, I'm door-to-door, car-to-car, parking lots. Like, I'm really full-fledged with this. I'm promoting on every social media nonstop. I mean, I am really, really, like, in this.
Yeah. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. No, I'm glad you reached out, honestly. Just a side note.
Yeah.
Honestly. What were you going to say, though, Jake? I saw you were going to say something.
Well, first I was going to say, going back, like, for him, like, I remember just going back to COVID, when it hit, I didn't talk to him for, like, probably, like, two weeks or something, Yeah. And then after, like, that initial, I called him up, and I was like, I know Mike's not going to be just sitting in his house. Like, he's got to be doing something. Yeah. So I called him up, and he's like, I'm not doing all this mass stuff. Like, I'm not staying in my house. I was like, me too. I was like, let's go do something.
Yeah.
No, honestly, you got to keep that energy. You got to keep yourself motivated. Yeah. And that is like both of my books. I can honestly say, like, both of my books are strictly motivational books. Yeah. When I mean motivated, I don't care how you look at yourself before you read my book. After you close my book, you're really going to be like, yo, this book, like, because people is doing it. I mean, the older people that's even reaching out, hitting me up, like, you really changed my life. Like, there's things that I was going through when I read your book that, like, I can't even stop reading your book. And I'll laugh, and that'll just make my heart smile. I'm like, Lord, I thank you. Like, I know I'm really doing something I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm really walking in my divine footsteps.
Yeah. Have you done any motivational speaking?
I did, and it was amazing. I went to I forgot the shelter name. It's a shelter out here in Bridgeport, and I know the director of the shelter, and I hit him up, and I mean from ages 18 to 54. When I left out everybody.
Homeless shelter?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
it was a homeless shelter, and they were all like, I'm not. No, what's she doing? What she want? I'm not saying down. They didn't tell them who I was, and then when they began, oh, she's an author. They were like, oh my gosh. And once they heard me talk and everything, like this, the motivation I thank God that I was able to give them made my heart smile. Like, I even walked out in tears, and they're reaching back out to me like, please make sure you come back. Make sure you come back. I'll see some of them like, as I'm riding about out of the store, and they'll be like, I love her. I'm like, but yes, I did, and that was the best thing in the world. Like, I love doing speeches. I love talking.
Well, you don't have to give us the whole speech, but like, what was your speech at the homeless shelter about?
I will say upon this, like, no matter what you're going through in life, I don't care how you're looking at the situation. Thank God that you do have a shelter over your head. You have food in your mouth. You have people around you. Use the resources that's in front of you. Like, thank God that you can come here every day. You can get they get clothes on your backs, food in your mouth, and you have a comfortable bed to stay every night. So I don't care, quote unquote, you're at a shelter, but at least that you're somewhere with a roof over your head.
Right.
And then I was just like, just look around. Don't let anybody look around each other. And I'm like, because with the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, you may not be sitting next to the very person that you're at right now. You don't know what's the next step in anybody's life. So please be kind and just use the resources that's around you.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good message. I love that you're doing motivational speeches at like the homeless shelter,
Yes.
Like when you ask somebody like, where are you doing motivational speeches? Like in your head, you're picturing like a high school or like a seminar type thing. And then go into the homeless shelter. I mean, that's amazing.
That's where they need motivation. You know
That's
what I mean?
They need it the most because they're down and out. So they think they're down, but it's like no matter what situation you're in, you got to make the best of it. You got to make the best of it.
Yeah.
You got to know that you are getting out of this. Use this opportunity to know that you will be in your own soon.
Yeah. I think you should speak at like high schools and stuff.
Yeah. Oh
too.
yeah.
That'd be, like,
Definitely.
Yes.
think
So but before
we should get a panel together.
I
Like
know.
Harry. you know, 'cause,
Oh
like,
my gosh, you're right.
He brings the energy too, and like you
Yes.
could just tell he's like a real person.
We
you
could
know?
host it. We could do it. I'm going to talk to Dr. Miller. So shout out Sacred Heart University.
Okay.
The reason why we are so good at what we do, honestly, is because of Sacred Heart and them over there.
Awesome.
I learned everything from them in terms of the gear and shit. But Dr. Miller loves that stuff. Is all I'm saying. And we have a dope like theater area over there where we could get on stage.
Yes.
Me and Jay could sit there, and then we could host it and have a live, Dream is Free on stage with the panel. That would be fire, Jay.
Or set up like a series.
Oh, I'd be
what I mean?
down. Oh, I'd
Yeah,
like that too.
Two at a time.
Yeah. Yes.
Two people that we've had on at a time to go on and do their motivational speech or their story.
Yeah.
Guys, get it lined up. I'm there. I'm
No, we're
excited.
going to. I'm going to talk to
excited.
Dr. Miller.
We have to write a
Yes.
lot of stuff down after this actually because we keep talking about things we need to do and we need to actually put it on paper and start doing it. Yeah. But we got to see, how COVID plays out right now. A lot of stuff is shutting back down. It's like
I know. It's recently, right now, I
it's
know.
spiking, which is I'm not happy to hear that.
Yeah, me either. I'm pissed. It's like, geez, now everyone's going to be even crazier for the next couple months. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, I have my book signing is coming up within the next 2 weeks, and I'm like, I hope this don't ruin anything.
Where's that going to be?
Yeah, where is it?
It's gonna be at 980 Railroad Ave in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Okay.
So it's 980. It's gonna be at the Rio's Cafe.
Rio's Cafe?
Yes.
Okay.
From 2 to 7 p.m.
Which part of Railroad Ave is that on? Is that towards...
Right across the street from Winfield Park.
Okay, perfect. I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
not
there.
too far from here.
What day is it again?
It's on a, Sunday, November 15th
All right.
at Rio's Cafe.
We'll come by. We'll
Yeah.
bring a
Definitely.
camera.
Yeah, we'll bring the crew.
Okay. You're definitely come
Yeah.
on through, guys.
sure.
November 15th, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
November
I wrote it
15th.
down.
That's right.
Oh, man. So the books, when can we expect the books? The next one you just finished. When do you think? Time frame, a year maybe?
I'm doing it like every year I'll be dropping a book.
Nice.
So every year, like this one, it was a little gap due to the fact that I was switching over publishing companies, and
Yeah.
I had to really do some research what was going on and make sure I'm in the right position this time.
Yeah.
And the publishing company I'm with now, everything's going amazing,
awesome.
everything's great. So I do thank God. But yeah, so every year I will be dropping a book now, and I'm on it. Just gotta pen and pad or use my phone, but I'm definitely on it.
Love it.
Sounds good. And then where can people find you on social media?
They can find me at Ashira Jordan on Facebook. You can find me Ashira_Jordan on Instagram. And you can also check out my website at www.ashirajordan.com. That's www.ashirahjordan.com.
That was, if we had to record that for radio, like for, you know what I mean? For like segments, that was like perfect commercial take right there. One take, one kill. What's the deal? That was epic.
Thank you.
Two last things.
Yes.
One, is there anything else you wanted to add in?
Yes.
Anything we missed? Anything you need to throw in there?
I just wanted to thank you guys again for the opportunity. Yes, I reached out to you, but I thank you for reaching back out and to have allow me to come up here. I mean, this was amazing. I truly thank God for it. And I just want to tell the listeners, please continue to keep pushing, no matter what comes up against you, no matter what happens in life. Just allow that to make you go harder like never before. Continue to be your number one fan and never give up. Never give up, because tomorrow may be your day.
Got it. So you already answered the second question, because my second question was going to be, can you tell us something that you would want the listeners to hear that we leave off on? So,
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
good.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
She fine with it, yeah. Don't let them say different, yeah. Study working hard for that bank, bro.
talking about
5'5", my type, is she well known. Bad bitch, big bank, that's a combo.